It's not the individual suitability that any of us are questioning, but whether or not it's prudent to be separating agencies at a time when for the last 7 years they were consolidated.
Questions were again raised during Senator Roy Respicio's Rules Committee hearing on the confirmation of Frank Roberto to lead the Agency for Human Resource Development. AHRD and the Department of Labor were merged under the previous administration until Governor Calvo, by executive order recently, separated them. Committee Chair Senator Respicio grilled former Labor Director Maria Connolly about the need for the separation.
There's an executive order that takes AHRD out of labor and says that AHRD shall be an autonomous agency.
And two separate, and they have always
two separate entities.
They've always been two separate. I've already mentioned, if you were look at the notification of personal action,
don't say they've always been, because you operated under an environment where an executive order merged your two agencies together administratively.
But all I was the umbrella, umbrella to pull everybody together.
More than that, you shared an MIS, correct?
And Senator Adolfo Palacios asked current director Leah Beth Nohalawaha whether the separation will mean added costs.
Senator, I'm not exactly sure how much, but anytime you separate an agency, of course, there's going to be an incurred cost, but as to how much, I'm not sure yet. And the governor, I'm sure, is aware of that, and he's going to sit down with us and discuss this issue.
Is it safe to say that at least $100,000 a year, which is a substantial amount?
Maybe because now that they're autonomous, according to the executive order, they're autonomous agency now. I have to have my own administrative support.
No one has really clarified yet what's going to happen to MIS, what's going to happen to the ASO. We get calls all the time from classified employees saying that there are many things happening at these two departments, and employees are being told, if you're paid by WIA funds, you're HRD, you come with me. If you're labor, you stay there.
The concern that we should have is, and the disallowed costs, it's putting participants into programs when they're not eligible.
I had a conversation with the U.S. Department of Labor, and they've said that someone ought to be careful when they sign every month that they're complying with the state plan, because in their opinion so far it's non-compliant. And then we're going to find ourselves a couple of years from now in the same situation where, and they said if the governor wants to do this, and I recognize that's his prerogative, but there's a right way to do it.
Administration spokesman Troy Torres told PNC News today that the separation would add no additional burden to the general fund. And he said the separation would merely allow for each agency director, Labor and AHRD, to concentrate on their missions, which are becoming more important, he said, as we enter a period where we expect more foreign workers on island.
I suspect that even if we don't do anything in terms of moving forward on your confirmation, I'm not making any pronouncements yet, but that the status quo will remain. You'll still be the director of AHRD, whether or not the legislature confirms you.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.